Hello, namaste, namaskar, good afternoon, welcome, good morning, maybe even good evening, in whichever part of the world you are joining us from. My name is Deepakar Khemani, and it is 12:30 p.m. on a Sunday. For the last 277 weeks, 277 weeks, every Sunday, come rain or shine, online or offline, we've been here speaking with people, change makers, leaders, people from all across the globe who are helping, doing their little bit to make the world a better place. In this journey of 277 episodes, we have had people joining in from all over the globe. In fact, every continent in the world has been represented. Yes, we've had people from our very own Asia, Europe, the Americas, Africas, and Australia, New Zealand, and our very own scientist who has been to Antarctica. That way, we've completed all the continents of the globe on our program. Continuing that series today, we have with us a very special guest. Let me introduce Aashi Chawla. Aashi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Deepak, for introducing me and giving me this opportunity to talk to, a set of people who are, enthusiastic to even log in on a Sunday. It's really amazing to see you guys to log in on a Sunday. I know it's not easy, but you guys made it, so congratulations.
Thank you. So, Ashi is a money and a business mindset coach. Now, that is quite a, for want of a better word, odd combination. A lot of people, you are business coaches, a lot of people are mindset coaches, a lot of people are money coaches, a money and business mindset coach. Ashi, welcome to the show and tell us what you do and why you do.
Okay. So let me first explain you why I'm calling myself a business mindset coach. Okay. See, understand one thing. There are two aspects to success. Okay. One is, of course, your skill set. The skill set is the strategy, the branding, the team building, the leadership. That's the outer side of you. It's something which we all have learned through our experiences, through MBA. Schools have also taught us, and so on and so forth. The other aspect of success is the internal growth. Now, suppose if I, as an entrepreneur, has a goal of reaching to a 10 crore turnover this year, okay? And you've not done that, but you aspire to be that person who reaches to ten crore goal. Now, what is happening is you're putting your energies, you are working towards the action is totally aligned. The strategy is in place, the product is good, the service is good, market is good, team is really good. But if you as an entrepreneur always feel that, you know what, I don't know whether I'll be able to do it or not. I don't know whether it's possible or not. यार आज तक तो कभी किया नहीं है आज कैसे हो जाएगा you know now those are nothing to do externally everything is there but your internal self talk that you do to yourself that 80% of the time restricts your growth. Okay. And hence, a lot of times, people, I always tell that people always focus on the outer strategies and everything, but they forget to focus on what is that limiting me in the inside, you know. And hence, from my own journey, which I will definitely would want to share, I decided that I want to help entrepreneurs on building the internal being to an extent so that it matches with what they want to achieve outside. Because understand one thing, if you're floating or if you're swimming against the current, which is mean you are swimming, that's your action, okay? But inside of you, that talk says that it's not possible, that you're actually swimming against the current. You are going to get burnt out, you are going to get tired, you're going to feel like, when am I going to reach there? The problem is not with the current. The problem is you're flowing or you're swimming against the current. I help you to swim with the current, so that it doesn't feel like a burnt out. Yeah.
So now tell us what brought you here. Tell us where you started and why you gave up whatever you are doing and you said, no, this is my calling. I need to, help entrepreneurs change
Yeah.
their mindset and consequently change their lives?
So, I started my first business, which is in 2013, 2022, as I was helping in distribution. Okay, I was helping to build a multinational e-commerce company to build a distribution base globally. So I had markets across India, UAE, South Africa, and to be very honest, life looked incredible. Okay, I'm not being pompous, but I'm saying this because so that everybody knows what happened in the journey. Okay, so in the entire period of me making money, I bought an Audi, I flew Emirates first class, business class. I traveled across the world, expanded operations, found a business mentor. Money was flowing, opportunities are coming, like a proper something anybody would ask for in a business. That was all working out well. Okay. But you know what? Underneath all these wins, okay, my identity was still wired in survival. Okay. I doubted myself consistently. I carried pressure alone. I feared people or my team leaving me. I also questioned every business decision that I took. Whether I'm doing the right thing, whether I'm doing the wrong thing, will it really work, will it not really work, and so on and so forth. Every time it was that. And actually, with all that inner work, that inner chatter that was going on, I actually reached to a point where my team walked out because I had teams across the globe. Okay. My business was completely shattered. Okay. My turnover, which was at that point in time 20 lakh rupees a month, crashed to 20,000 rupees a month. And so much so that I also went to a 50 lakh rupees debt. Okay. All business decisions, all desperation, and so on and so forth. And, in between of all of that, I kind of realized my strategy was not a failure. Okay. I, as in person, my identity was more of a failure. Okay. So in 2022, especially when COVID hit, that's the time when most of us went into a reflection point, where we started to reflect what is going right, what is going wrong, what's not working, what's not. And so that is the time even I kind of started to reflect. And I understood one thing, that I cannot help myself. I need to really work on something. And I went to my mentor. And my mentor told me this one thing which stayed with me, and I think which changed the trajectory of my growth as of today. Whatever I am today, I feel, it's because, sometimes it's very important to get the right mentor also. And I'm really, really lucky that I found her. And she told me this one thing, that your business is not failing apart because the market is not doing good or you don't have the right skill set. It's failing apart because you are not able to sustain success. Okay, you have not created that vessel only of success, and hence
Hmm.
as a result that success is not just happening for you, because she was working very closely with me. And when she told me that, to be very frank, Deepak, that landed so hard on me. Okay. Because I knew that somewhere she was being right. Okay. Because, as per statistics in India, in fact, globally, we usually talk about fear of failure a lot, right? But statistics says that entrepreneurs fear success more than they fear failure. Okay. Now, why is that? So, because if one become wants to be successful, they will have to change their entire routine. They'll have to be disciplined. They'll have to do the boring work every single day. Okay. Success will also mean that, you won't have the same group or the friend circle, because your mindset changes. You start thinking in a very different way. So you won't have the same group also. So you're changing your friends. It may also mean that you're struggling on yourself alone. So a lot of people cannot maintain that success, and they feel very scared whether I can really, this success is even possible. And I was one of them, to be very frank, because I remember when, whenever success was happening to me, I was feeling that, oh shit, because I was working in different time zones. Whereas, UAE works on a different time zone, South Africa works on a different time zone, India works on a very different time zone. I kind of used to feel like, will I ever have time to myself? Will I be able to spend time with my family? I don't want to keep grinding all this, like you start to get those. And I used to see that my success Immediately, because I'm consistently saying that I'm not ready for growth in
Mm,
myself and I'm giving this energy to the universe. I
yeah,
should see that the business is also growing down. But the moment I realized, then I started working on myself, I actually rewired my identity. I shifted my relationship with money. I healed all whatever self doubt I had about myself. Okay. And I started making decisions from clarity instead of fear. Okay. Finally, after me doing that entire self work on myself, in 2023, 2025, I actually cleared my 50 lakh rupees debt. Okay. And I bought a new home. In this coaching business, I started building my own business, which I ran into like now six-figure US dollars.
wow.
Okay. And I took holidays without guilt and I made decisions with these. All I want to say is that, you know what? This is my true story. And, if I can do it and I realize I can help any entrepreneur to do that. Because again, as per statistics, 72% of the entrepreneurs go through depression, they go through anxiety, they go through loneliness. Okay. And these 72% of the founders actually, put this whatever inside they're going because they can't show it in front of their team. So, as per statistics, about 22% of the founders bring this to their home and their family is also impacted because of it. You know? Now, imagine if we can just work on the inner being where we feel more confident, where we know we can take decisions for clarity. And the one thing which I did, because I was very fearful of success, is I started working on rewiring my mindset towards I can have it all. I can have success, I can travel, I can make a business, I can, spend time with my family. And that is exactly what happened. बिकॉज दीपक बचपन से ना हमें एक चीज सिखाई जाती है, या तो आपको ये मिलेगा या तो आपको वो मिलेगा. हमें हमेशा ये बोलता है. हमारे पेरेंट्स ने भी हमको ईदर और वाली सिचुएशन सिखाई है. आपको
Yeah,
या तो ये मिलेगा या ये मिलेगा, आपको ये करना पड़ेगा. बट किसी ने भी हमें ये नहीं सिखाया कि यार आप सब कुछ खा सकते हो. दिस एंड दैट इज पॉसिबल. देर
yeah,
इज नो और.
mm,
Okay. But we think like, oh, either I can have happiness or I can have sadness. I can't have both. Okay. Or हर खुशी के बाद गम तो आता ही है. These are so many things which you've heard that
yeah,
it somehow is rewired into our mind. So that's when my journey began. I decided, no, I want to work with entrepreneurs. I want to tell them, listen, आप कितना भी hard work कर लो बाहर, कितना भी, मतलब आप 24 मतलब 20 घंटे भी काम कर लो, बट अगर आपका इनर बीइंग आपको बोलता है ना आप ये सक्सेस के लिए रेडी नहीं हो, तो आप रेडी नहीं हो. आप कुछ भी कर लो, आएगी सक्सेस. मैं ये नहीं बोलती हूँ नहीं आएगी. बहुत हार्ड वर्क करने के जैसे मुझे भी आई थी, इवन आई सॉ सक्सेस. बट इट विल कम विद सो मच बर्न आउट कि उसके बाद तो सक्सेस को आप सस्टेन नहीं कर पाओगे, मेंटेन नहीं
mm.
कर पाओगे. बिकॉज आप थक गए हो ऑलरेडी वो सक्सेस को पाने में. दैट्स हाउ माई स्टोरी बिगेन.
Wonderful, wonderful. Fear of success rather than fear of failure.
फेलियर,
And you
या.
also said that, that's the way we were brought up. Our parents put us these things into us. Is this fear of success built in inside every human being? Has it got something to do with the way we were brought up? Are we being brought up differently, let's say in India or in our culture compared to, Western cultures? What's the difference if there is any?
No, actually, to be very honest, I'll be very, it's not just about India. In fact, very recently, I was in Dubai and I was talking to this European, and we had just got out of a networking meeting and we were just discussing. And he told me, you know what, you, I fear success. He's doing very well. Okay. And he admitted it. He feared success. It's because he said, you know what, I don't want to be like successful people, the way they behave. Okay. Now there's so many things, you're very right कि हम success के लिए we also feel scared about success because the way we are brought up. I think I'll be very honest. I'll share my story. Okay. I came from a very humble background. Okay. We shifted from Punjab to Bombay and we didn't have it all. So, but thankfully my dad made us stay in an area which is full of people who are doing good, the upper middle class in that point in time. And we were just beginning. So there were not much of means as compared to even be called as an upper middle class. We were just middle class. Okay. And I remember, my parents, even if there was a wealthy person in the building, there was one industrialist who was in the building. And because I think we felt insecure about ourselves. Okay. We kept saying that, ये जो अमीर लोग होते हैं ना, इनमें बहुत ego होता है. ओके, बहुत ही ईगो होता है। एंड ये लोग अच्छे लोग नहीं होते, दे जस्ट वांट टू, इट्स नॉट दैट दे आर नॉट गुड, इट्स जस्ट दैट दे हैव लॉट्स टू शो ऑफ, दे आर वेरी पॉम्पस एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। आई रिमेम्बर जब मैं जब पैसे कमाने लगी, और जब व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड टू ग्रो अप, मेरी एक चीज हमेशा होती है, मुझे पैसा कमाना है बट मुझे बहुत हम्बल रहना है। नाउ दिस हम्बलनेस कहाँ से आ रहा था? बिकॉज आई फियर्ड कि आई डोंट बिकम लाइक देम।
Yeah,
ओके, बट इन अ
yeah,
वे इफ यू सी योर टेलिंग मनी कि मेरे को चाहिए कि तुम मेरी जिंदगी में मत आओ, क्योंकि अगर तुम मेरी जिंदगी में आ जाओगे तो मेरे को बहुत ईगो आ जाएगा।
exactly.
सो इन अ वे आई एम एक्चुअली सबकॉन्शियसली नॉट अलाउिंग सक्सेस टू कम इन माई लाइफ। ओके, एंड सिमिलरली हमने कितना कुछ सुना है यार। जो देवर, आई रिमेम्बर वन क्लाइंट एक्चुअली टोल्ड मी दिस, आशी इज इट ट्रू कि व्हाट, व्हेन यू हैव मोर मनी रातों की नींद उड़ जाती है। माय मॉम दैट यूज्ड टू से दैट, कि रात की नींद उड़ जाती है, ज्यादा पैसे नहीं कमाना चाहिए। एंड आई टोल्ड हिम, लिसन, अंडरस्टैंड दैट्स नॉट ट्रू। अगर अब ये दिस इज, आई एग्री, पुराने जमाने में बोलते थे रातों की नींद उड़ती है, बिकॉज पुराने जमाने में बैंक्स नहीं थे, देयर वर नो बैंक्स, सो व्हाट पीपल यूज्ड टू डू इज दे यूज्ड टू कीप द मनी एट द हाउस। ओके, और वो मिट्टी के घर होते थे एनएनएम। अब वो किसी को तो रखवाली करनी थी ना, वो पैसे की। तो कोई एक
Yeah.
बंदा देखता था कि कोई चोर ना आ जाए, कोई कुछ हो ना जाए, एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। तो इट इज ट्रू in the past. Okay, but is it true today? No, we have banks. Okay, then there is another thing which is also there. When people say कि ज्यादा पैसे से आने से ना बहुत टैक्स भी भरना पड़ता है, which is a very, like a lot of people feel scared कि यार ये taxes और government and anything. No, I understand that is the process. Okay, हमें टैक्स भरना पड़ता है, सब कुछ होता है, but if we feel scared about it, we are not going to be attracting money, we are not going to attract success,
Hmm.
right? So there's so many things where we limit ourselves. Okay, and we don't know, subconsciously we are just being scared about it. So success,
Yeah.
yes, what आई बिलीव कि हमारे जो भी बिलीव्स है ना, और हम जैसे भी सोचते हैं, हमारे जो भी वैल्यू सिस्टम्स हैं, वो बिलीव्स हमने 0 to 9 years ऑफ एज में वी गॉट दोज बिलीव्स, एंड थ्रू दोज बिलीव्स वी आर ऑपरेटिंग आवर बिजनेस टुडे। या, सो इट
Hmm.
डज कम फ्रॉम योर चाइल्डहुड।
Now, I'll just carry forward from what you said, 0 to 9 age and beliefs from childhood and the way we were brought up, our parents' mindset. And in those days, things were different. But we see there are, these two or three communities, typically Gujaratis or Marwaris. Most of the time we said, yaar, iska dhanda to iske khoon mein hai. Business is in their blood. Are they, being brought up differently? Is their thought process is different? Why are there so many big industrialists who are slash Gujarati Marwadi? Or what is the mindset? Is there a difference?
या, अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, नाउ आई गिव यू सिंपल एग्जांपल। ओके, आप एक साउथ इंडियन को देख लो, एक पंजाबी को देख लो, एक सिंधी को देख लो, एक मारवाड़ी को देख लो, एक गुजराती को देख लो। ओके, उनके खाने का तरीका भी अलग होता है, राइट? दे ईट, कोई हाथ से खाता है, कोई स्पून से खाता है, कोई ढोकला खाता है, कोई ठेपला खाता है, उसको चावल ही चाहिए। ओके, किसी को सिंधी का वो जो भी पकवान चाहिए, इट्स कॉल्ड मंकी सी मंकी डू। ओके, अब आपके घर में अगर पूरा दिन बिजनेस की बात चल रही है, ओके, आज बिजनेस में ये प्रॉफिट करना है, अब बचपन से वो वही सुनते आ रहा है कि बिजनेस 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 बिजनेस, पैसे कहाँ से आना है, कहाँ से प्रॉफिट बनाना है, मुझे आगे बढ़ना है, मुझे बिजनेस को आगे करना है,
Yeah,
ये वो बंदा सिर्फ बिजनेस के बारे में सोचेगा।
yeah.
बिकॉज उसने बचपन से लाइक फॉर मी इन माई हाउस, ओके, इवन दो आई वाज इन अ जॉब अर्लियर, आई स्टार्टेड माय करियर इनटू इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग, बट बिकॉज इन माय हाउस एवरीबody spoke only on business, I could not see myself in a job.
Hmm.
Okay, but there are some sections of society like who only think about IAS officer, IPS officer, they think about
Yes,
engineering, they think about
yes,
doctor. They're
yeah,
not thinking about business. And I've seen
yeah,
that if even one person from that family decides कि मुझे business करना है, okay, if they decide, he kind of faces fear from everywhere. Like मॉम मिल से, नहीं नहीं बिजनेस नहीं करना, उसमें पैसा डूब जाता है, मेरे वो अंकल
yeah,
ने बिजनेस चालू किया था, तुम्हें पता नहीं पैसा डूब जाएगा, बिकॉज वो बिजनेस है ही नहीं इनके, मतलब दे डोंट
yeah,
वांट, दे लाइक तुम सर्विस करो भाई, सेफ है। ओके, और बेस्ट है तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब करो, जस्ट डू द गवर्नमेंट जॉब। ओके,
yeah,
सो इट इज
yeah.
सो ट्रू, दी लाइक दिस से, अगर 5 लोग सिगरेट पीते हैं, और अगर छट्टा लंदा भी सिगरेट पीना चालू कर देगा,
दिखेगा, yes,
राइट?
बिल्कुल.
अगर अभी 5 लोग घर में सिर्फ बिजनेस की बात कर रहे हैं, So sixth person will, he or she will definitely, and that is why you see, on Gujaratis and Marwadi kids want to only do business. उनके खून में है
Hmm.
वो, because they, everything and anything around is business, 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 business. And their thought process is also like that. How do, like I've seen a lot over this about Gujarati families, especially. In Gujaratis, if you see, Gujaratis are biggest networkers. You would actually see them. They're biggest. वो लोग हमेशा हर जगह झुंड में जाते हैं. They have their entire. We make fun of it wherever Gujarati goes. They start their garba. But the thing is, they're good networkers. Now I have seen, because I have friends across everywhere. I've seen Gujaratis have the kind of network where they actually start to help each other and they grow. There's so many communities which don't do that.
Yeah.
So it is 100%. It comes from the background. It's all monkey see, monkey do. You know, I
Just
hope that.
yesterday I was watching on social media in this Indigo thing which is going on. There was
Yeah,
a group of Gujaratis at Mud Airport where, they started playing Garba. Everybody else
yeah,
is fighting on the counter, and these guys, are basically enjoying. Why shout when
yeah,
nothing is going to happen? Let's
absolutely.
enjoy our time. Really, really. So
Yeah,
that thing is there. And I just saw Saurabh Patil, Dr. Saurabh Patil saying that, what? In Maharashtrian families, it's also there. And I know that Saurabh is a first generation entrepreneur. Saurabh, if you are listening to me, if you can unmute yourself.
actually, it's not just with Maharashtrians. If I be very honest, it's with
Yes, sir.
South Indians.
Right
Yeah,
here.
Yes, yes, your views on what you were hearing because you agreed.
I totally agree with what she's saying because it's natural with the way what, the way we hear things around, the way we see people doing things around in the family, dinner tables filled with business talks or dinner table filled with very safe and secure talk about doing a government service. It
Yeah,
subconsciously affects our mind, and in a lot of Maharashtrian families, it's always about being safe. How safe you can be. Your job is safer than business. Government service is safer than a private job. So
yeah.
that has stopped a lot of people, especially from Maharashtrian families, to get into business. And what Ashi is saying is totally true. It's monkey see, monkey do, and I totally resonate with her on this.
So again, share your experience, Saurabh. You started out a cafe and a small hotel of your own. Just tell us about the change in mindset you went through, or you said, no, no, I want to do this. This is my dream. This is where I want to succeed. Just tell us a little bit about what you thought and what you did.
Well, to start with, of course, I'm a first generation entrepreneur, but first generation entrepreneur in hospitality. My family was already in education, so I have seen the business talks in the dinner table. I've seen the business talks 24 hours in the house, family sitting together, my uncle, my dad talking about how the challenges they had experienced, how they overcame the challenges. So, of course, that helped and inspired me, but yet I had my own challenges when people said that what there's nothing in hospitality. How will you survive? It looks glamorous from the outside, but it's lot demanding from the inside. As well as my parents came from rags to build everything from rags to riches. So when they started building business, everyone mocked them like crazy. That yet, yeah, you're from a Maharashtrian family, it won't come to you. Why do you want to get into this? Get a government job. In fact, lot of people in our village said that put my dad into army and my uncle into put my uncle into army and put my dad into government service. It will be safer for you. But they both chose not to do that. They
Yes.
were the rebel. We are the rebels who are trying to make our own path.
If you go against the family wishes, you automatically become a rebel. You are basically going against what others want you to do. And that brings me to this question, Ashi. I'm sure you are
yeah.
also seeing this. The generation before us,
Mm.
even up to a point, our generation too. A lot of people were happy with a cushy government job, knowing that there is going to be a pension coming and life will be, nice. It will be easy. Zyada tension karne ki zarurat nahi hai. But Gen Z today, we see them, job hopping and doing this. And, in the last 1 month, how many jobs have you changed? Three. In the last 1 year, how many jobs you have changed? Eight. Job hopping, jumping from one thing to another, right from like one edge to totally different opposite edge. Is this actually working? What is the generational shift that has happened?
So I'll tell you one thing. Our grandfathers, okay, was in survival zone. Okay. So for them, it was like we have to survive. We have to make sure we meet ends. Then came our fathers who provide us a little of luxury, a lifestyle. From the survival, took us to a lifestyle zone. We got our house, we have our car, we have mobiles, we have everything in place. So we are not in our fathers made sure that we uplift the generation, and so
Yes,
on and so forth. So
yes,
what is happening with Gen Z is like in today's world is that they have most of the things in place. They don't have to seek कि मेरे को हमें घर बनाना है, मुझे गाड़ी बनानी है. Okay. People usually have one kid or they have two kids at the max or they have no kids nowadays. So it's like, it's like, so with one kids, they want to make sure कि हमें जो नहीं मिला था, मतलब जैसे my dad, mom, okay, if they didn't get जो उनको नहीं मिला था, they want to make sure we want to give everything to our kids.
yes,
सो क्या है ना ये जो जेनजी है ना दे आर एक्चुअली वेरी फुलफिल्ड किड्स.
yeah.
ओके. इनको आप एक्सप्लॉइट भी नहीं कर सकते हो. आई थिंक इनफैक्ट आई एक्चुअली फील दैट जेनजीज हैव मोर क्लियर थॉट प्रोसेस because
Hmm.
they're like, okay, you know what, this is what we want. If you're not giving us, it's okay, tata, bye bye, see you. We are not going to be slugging over here. Okay. And whereas I feel in our generation, we were like, oh shit, we have to make our career. We have to survive. We want to do things. We want to
Yeah,
make sure we want to prove ourselves. This is not the case with them. So hence you will see them, hopping, jumping, and doing things. But I think they have, like I said, I think they are more clear about voicing what they want than I think a lot of our generation was exploited in jobs and so on and so forth because we were like, okay, you know what, this is the place. We can't change it. We have to keep going. Loyalty means
yeah,
everything. But
yes.
yeah, it's not the same now.
Yes, yeah. We always used to hear stories of, people joining in at a lower level, then rising
And
through the ranks, then 20,
yeah,
30 years later,
yeah,
reaching right at the top and then retiring and very
yeah,
happy. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Today's kids don't want to do that. They are not in that zone. They don't have that mindset. So since we are talking about mindset, it's not a switch that can be flipped, right? I can't flip the switch and say from tomorrow my mindset has changed. So just walk us through the process. How does mindset shift happen? How easy or how difficult it is to do that?
See, I'll tell you one thing, mindset shift starts with awareness. Okay. Like today, I spoke to most of you and thoda awareness आया. Okay, you know what? ऐसे भी होता है क्या? Is there something like an internal change also that we need to do? Maybe आपने पहले बहुत सुना होगा, but इतनी डेप्थ में नहीं सुना होगा या मतलब कुछ थोड़ा बहुत सुना होगा. So today, it's kind of awareness. Oh, there is something like this. But will it lead to change? No. Okay. Because the major part is acceptance. Do I accept that I also need to change? Do I accept that this is something which I have also gone through? Do I accept that, yeah, even I am holding a lot of limiting beliefs? Until unless that acceptance doesn't come, the change won't happen. Like I'll give you an example. Okay. Suppose we all know we should eat healthy food. Everybody knows it. Okay. ज्यादा शुगर नहीं खाना चाहिए कोका रोज हम लोग अवेयरनेस सब जगह है. ओके. बट क्या हम हेल्दी फूड तो भी खा रहे हैं? नहीं खा रहे हैं, राइट? तो भी हम वो सब खा रहे हैं जो हमें खाना है एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फॉर. ओके. सो अवेयरनेस इज देयर. नाउ क्या होगा कि आपने ना अपना सडनली यू डिसाइड कि लेट मी गेट माय शुगर टेस्ट एंड एनीथिंग, तो कुछ ना डॉक्टर ने आपको बोला आपका शुगर बहुत हाई है. ओके.
Hmm.
एंड यू हैव टू नाउ ईट हेल्दी फूड एंड यू टू वॉक. नाउ द एक्सेप्टेंस इज वेरी हाई. Okay, not that he didn't know
Yeah,
person knew or he or she knew. Now the acceptance is gone. Like, kal se I am going to start walking. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to eat healthy. This, that, all changes will be made. So awareness is not just the awareness is just the beginning. Okay, acceptance. I'm telling you, it's really unfortunate. A lot of people accept when they get into a pit. Okay. जब सब कुछ बहुत बुरा होने लगता है then नहीं यार आज तो चेंज करना ही पड़ेगा. Okay.
correct.
And that's when they start to work on themselves. Okay. That is the unfortunate part about we human beings is that we want to go to the extreme end before we take any action.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. But imagine if people start to accept even before it.
Hmm.
They don't have to go through the pain. Why do you want to put yourself through the pain to accept and then change?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the process you need to go through. Yeah.
Wonderful. I see Abhijit is here, and Abhijit is joining us live from Ayodhya. He's just had Ayodhya
Wow.
Darshan and he's joining in. Abhijit, unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
I really please make sure that you seek blessings for us also. I don't think whether you can hear because if you would have
Abhijit, you
been,
can't hear us. I think he's looking somewhere else.
yeah.
Audio, let me ask him to unmute. Okay, let's see if he can join in or if he can understand. Otherwise, let's continue. Okay, so share with us one or two real life stories, which means, for a person who connected with you 2 years, 3 years, 5 years ago, and then, they were doing X, and this is how you moved them from where they were to where they finally wanted to be. Some real life stories.
Sure. So I'll talk about my first client, okay, because he's very special for me. The first is always very special. So this was a client who actually he's from Sri Lanka, okay, and a very young guy. He's an entrepreneur in Sri Lanka, about 26, 27 years old, okay, and he came to me and he said, Ashi, would you mentor me? So, and at that point in time, that was the first time I had to mentor somebody. Earlier to that in my business, I was still doing that, but this is the first time that you take the entire responsibility that you have to help somebody.
Yeah.
And I went through when we sat down and I just told him one thing when he came to me. I said, see, you know what, I'll mentor you, but you have to promise me one thing that you will surrender to the process.
Okay.
Okay. It's very important. Yes. If you really want change to happen, you have to surrender to the process. Okay. Because think about it now. If Sachin Tendulkar didn't know how to play cricket early, he was not born with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now his coach told him to do certain things. Swing ऐसे करो, आप ऐसे नहीं behave करो, ये करो, वो करो. Now if you imagine he didn't surrender to the process. He said, no, I will do the way I want to do it.
Hmm.
Okay. You can't see the change if you're not ready to accept. And
Hmm.
as I said, the unfortunate thing is again, we as Indians don't like feedback. Okay. We just hate it. We don't want only feedback. So I told him, listen, you have to surrender. And thankfully, he was a very good student where he said, okay, you know what, I will do it. And when I actually started working with him, I kind of realized how his parents, and see, understand, I'll tell you very honestly, though I'm talking about parents and circumstances, even they didn't know what they were doing. Okay, so I'm not really blaming them, but I'm just saying as an environment, okay, what happens.
Yeah.
So his parents kept consistently kept him, he was compared to other peers around, okay, wherein he started to lose his self-respect and his self-confidence, okay,
Hmm.
because consistently he was told, see, that person is doing so very well. What are you doing? You're not even doing very well, and so on and so forth. So for him, at a very young age, he started to think, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe, I need to really do. And in the process, what also happens is we as kids, we start to overprove ourselves. और मेहनत करेंगे, and we want to really make our parents proud and so on and so forth. So this is
Yeah.
where a lot of founders come where they, when a lot of times when I ask founders, why do they want to, excel in whatever field they're doing? Well, I want to make my parents proud. Okay.
Yes.
But it's so external to them. It's not
Yeah.
something internal. Okay. If this makes them excited, good, then it's a good goal. But if it's putting them in pressure, then you're working for somebody else. You're not working for yourself. Okay. And
Hmm.
this will never come to an end. Because today it's parents, tomorrow it's society, next day it's your son, next day it's your wife. It's just going to go on. It's never going to come. So he came from a point where his parents also didn't allow him to study further. Okay. But I'm saying that, the family didn't have money, but he saw his parents giving that money, on weddings to their
Ah.
families and so on and so
Oh.
forth. So all of that also he saw.
Yeah.
So firstly, he had a lot of grudge against his family, like, and to an extent that he started to stay alone. He just decided, I don't want to stay with them because it's just getting too much. So I sat down with them. My entire process, how it works is firstly, I work on your goals as founders. Because as I said, most of the founders don't work for themselves, they work for impressing somebody else. And
Hmm.
because they work for impressing somebody else, a lot of time they feel lazy about doing something. They'll procrastinate. What if I do it tomorrow? Because it's not something which is exciting them. It's not their
Yeah.
goal. Okay, they are just pushed to do it. Like imagine, um, हमको बचपन में अगर पढ़ाई नहीं पसंद थी और स्पोर्ट्स पसंद था और हमें पुश
Hmm.
किया जाता पढ़ाई करो पढ़ाई करो पढ़ाई करो पढ़ाई करो, मतलब मेरे को नहीं पढ़ाई पसंद है, मुझे स्पोर्ट्स खेलना है, मुझे स्पोर्ट्स खेलने दो।
Yeah.
तो आप कैसे ही पढ़ाई करोगे ना, वैसे ही सिमिलरली यू आर पुश टू अचीव गोल्स विच इज नॉट योर्स, somebody else's, then you will 100% procrastinate, feel lazy, feel like where am I going, there'll be a race, yeah, where like I don't even want to do this. So many doctors I know who are doctors because their parents wanted them to do, but if you ask them, if you had all the money in this world, would you want to be like, नहीं यार मैं आज ही
No.
डॉक्टर छोड़ के मैं म्यूजिशियन बन जाऊंगा, you know
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
first comes goal setting, where I help them to find out their goals, and of course, goals which I help them to list down or help them to figure out are not the goals which are very comfortable. Again, if they are comfortable, I feel bored again.
Yeah.
जो easy है उसमें challenge नहीं आता है, उसमें excitement नहीं आता है. So I help
Yeah.
them, I push them a little further where they feel excited about waking up every day. Oh, today I have to face this challenge. Let's do it.
Yes.
But with what when you list down those goals, also comes a lot of beliefs with it. Will I be able to do it? And then their mind saying that you can't do this. It's not possible, and so I start to work on those beliefs then very deeply, wherein I get into inner child healing. So I did that inner child healing, wherein I went and I showed him, how what happened with you in your childhood is impacting your business like this. Because founders want logic. Okay,
Hmm.
they don't want gyan. So I
Yeah.
have to give them logic. See what happened here, what you need to change because of which your business is being impacted. Like I give you earlier example. बचपन में
Yes.
अगर सुना है कि what पैसा बुरी चीज होती है, तो हम यू विल सी कि पैसा बैंक अकाउंट में आता है और वैसे ही कोई खर्चा आ जाता है और पैसा चले जाता है. ओके,
Hmm.
या जैसे ही पैसे आते हैं वो मतलब आपने पैसे कमाए और जैसे ही आते हैं कुछ ना कुछ कुछ ना कुछ होता है और वो चले ही जाता है. सो बिकॉज बिकॉज यू आर नॉट, यू ऑलवेज हर्ड पैसा बुरी चीज होगा, आप पैसे को भगाते हो अपने पॉकेट से.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I go through that. And the last thing, the third thing which I did with him is then I helped him to, uh, work on money energy. Now, this person, he uh, hated money because money was the reason why he couldn't study. Okay. So for him, he had hatred for money. I don't like money. Okay. Now, if you don't like money and if you hold so much of hatred because of money, then of course you're not
Yeah.
going to see your business grow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a 4 month journey wherein I worked with him very deeply. To an extent, Deepak, when our 4 months got over, his mindset changed to an extent, and I feel your energy changed. He got a call from the president on Sri Lanka to work with him on a special project. Imagine a
Wow.
person who was totally underconfident. He changed himself so much, his energies changed so much that out of so many, agro farmers over there, he was one of the person who was called by the president of Sri Lanka, and a young guy, not even somebody who's like in 40s and 50s. He was at 26, 27. But he had answers to what the president was looking at, and that's he was called for. So yeah, that's one of the memories. He was a very special student of mine. In fact, I have many
Wonderful.
more, but yeah, that was one of the special.
So just like many of us have, these success stories, I'm sure we have some failures also. So if you could just share some example of somebody who actually reached out to you, you did the best, but for whatever reason it wasn't successful. And possibly if you could, you could say that this was the reason or this is what that person
I
did not do.
Sure. See, Deepak, I'm not being pompous. Okay, I have somebody, two people over here who actually, yeah, Girish, I guess. Two people over here who've been here, who's work, who know me, and so on and so forth. I promise 100% transformation. Okay. But like I mentioned in the beginning only, if you don't surrender to the process, you will not achieve the results. Okay. So the people who didn't achieve the results are because they didn't follow to the 100%. Okay. They
Hmm.
started using their mind in between.
Okay.
Okay. So they thought कि इसको करने से क्या होगा. Now I'll give you
Ah.
another thing. What it's really crazy. Like the things which I teach are very simple. Okay, they are not difficult. Okay. अब हमें ऐसे आज ह्यूमन बीइंग करते हैं यार ये सिंपल चीज करने से क्या होएगा.
Ah.
तो इश्यू पता है क्या है, डिफिकल्ट चीजें हमसे होती नहीं है. ओके, क्योंकि वो डिफिकल्ट है. और सिंपल चीज हम करना नहीं चाहते हैं
करना
क्योंकि
नहीं
वो
चाहते।
सिंपल है, तो हम कुछ करते ही नहीं है, हम वहीं के वहीं बैठे हैं क्योंकि हमसे ये भी नहीं हो पा रहा और सिंपल में हमें भरोसा ही नहीं है. So it's
Yeah,
all about, why I say, success doesn't happen by doing difficult things every day. It happens by
yeah,
doing simple things consistently every day. That's how
yeah,
success comes. But in our
yeah.
head, because हमें हमेशा बोल गया, मेहनत करो, मेहनत करने से सक्सेस आती है. जब तक तुम्हारा खून पसीना नहीं निकल जाए तब तक सक्सेस नहीं. रात को सोने से पहले ऐसे लगना चाहिए आज बहुत मेहनत की है,
Yeah,
चाहे वो मेहनत प्रोडक्टिव है या नहीं है, बट हमें ऐसा लगता है यार
yeah,
बहुत मेहनत की है ना तो. बट जरूरी नहीं है. अगर ऐसे ही होता तो आज की डेट में लेबरर्स वुड बी द मोस्ट वेल्थिएस्ट पीपल, बिकॉज सबसे ज्यादा मेहनत तो वो करते हैं, सबसे ज्यादा पसीना तो वो
exactly.
बहाते हैं.
Mm,
सो या
yeah,
दैट्स द इशू.
yeah, wonderful. We don't want to do the difficult things and the easy things. We don't. We have. What's the point of doing such easy
या
things? No, इससे
इससे
क्या
क्या ही
होगा?
होएगा यार, इससे क्या होने
Exactly.
वाला है, ये
इससे
तो
क्या?
बहुत इजी है, इससे क्या होने वाला है.
Yeah,
सो
yeah.
वी डोंट डू एनीथिंग.
Yes. Let's try Abhijit again. Abhijit, if you can hear us, would you want to say something, ask something? Abhijit is probably busy with something else. Okay, chalo, let's move forward. I just that statement of yours where you said, doctor said I would have rather become a musician. I know one group of doctors who actually runs a band, and every
Hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, that whole group of doctors, the husband is a doctor, wife is a doctor, they run a nursing home, they have doctors who operate, and all these doctors only come and sing. All the singers are actually doctors, and these are like real big doctors. It's not just an ordinary MBBS doctor.
या
And I see Dr. Alka Chadda. She's a practicing doctor. She's agreeing and she's nodding her head. Let's bring in her views. Alka, Dr. Alka.
श्योर.
So, Doc, see, I'm very happy that this kind of discussion is happening on this platform. So, kudos to Bloom first and foremost for bringing up such beautiful, versatile speakers. Ashi, congratulations to you. Now,
थैंक यू सो मच.
as far as the part about that money part that you were saying, you're absolutely right. It's about letting go. There's a book if anybody wants to read, The Art of Spending Money. It's by Morgan Housel, and that's a third book in series is written. And the first was Psychology of Money. So if you read the third book, he tells us the psychology of why people are spendthrifts, why they want to show off because of their childhood trauma that they did not have money or they got less money or they were snubbed too much about money, and he has given all kinds of explanations, and that is right, human explanation. About singing doctors, we are all in the groups, all of us are having habits, we are having some kind of a hobbies which we want to enjoy our life. So as a doctor, we are completely focused on our patients, but outside of our profession, we have a lot of hobbies, and everyone should have some hobbies because that's what keeps us sane. The creativity, the art in us, when it is expressed outside, that keeps our sanity intact. Otherwise, we might go mad. But I look at my clinic as a club where I go every day in the morning and I interact with my patients and I listen to their stories. And that's what keeps me alive. And that's what keeps me going. So thank you for that question. I don't know what was the question, but this is what I would like to answer.
Yeah. So you know what? Ashi was giving us that example where a lot of people end up doing something not because they wanted to do it, but because it was societal pressure or family pressure. They reached a point and then they said, no, no, let me spend some time here, or there are always better options.
तो
Let's
हमारी
yeah.
जो इच्छाएं होती है ना, we I was a singing, I was writing, I was poetry writing up to the age of 12th standard and 10th standard and 11th standard, and after that, because competition, they're coming into the medical school. So you're absolutely right when you say that our hobbies and our art inside of us dies somewhere, it gets lost somewhere. And then when we really strive for something, we are frustrated in our life, we are having stress in our life, and that's the time we bring in the art into our lives. And that's the truth. Yeah, one should bring art into the one's life because that
Yeah.
gives you release and that gives you relaxation and more productivity and more happiness. Correct.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay.
So, Alka, you
So
know what? I just want to add over here. The reason why I was saying that, because I've come across a lot of people when I ask you, suppose if I ask you one question, that if you had all the money in the world, all the money, everything is taken care of, what would you want to really do?
Just be a doctor and serve my patients. Because when I was in KG class, no, I don't know when I found my report cards. My mother, she before she died, she gave me all my
Mm.
report cards, and I don't know when did it come into me. But from the first standard onwards, my ambition in the report card is doctor, doctor, doctor,
Yeah.
doctor.
So for her, the ambition was only that. If you realize, Deepak, I was talking about, there are people or doctors for her, she chose her career.
Hmm.
And I want to
Hmm.
be a doctor. Okay. I'm talking the case where parents choose the career. You got to be this. You got to do this. You can't be doing the other thing around. Like a lot of pressure of being an engineer, doctor, IAS officers, and so on and so forth. And then they eventually realize, shit, why am I even doing it? I didn't really want to do it. So yeah.
So just let's move ahead. What would your advice be to a budding entrepreneur, somebody who's starting out now, somebody who has all the ideas and all the energy, but who hasn't traveled that path, who hasn't seen difficult times, who hasn't seen orders getting cancelled, who hasn't seen that you have to work from 9 o'clock in the morning, right, maybe up to 12 o'clock in the night? What would your advice be to a person like this?
I would say that take each day at a time. Don't think about the results because results will give you pressure. Okay. Instead, enjoy the process. So basically, when I work with founders, I just tell them decide what you're going to do today and give 100% to that only. That's it. आज मेरे को ये करना था, ये करना था, ये करना था, ये करना था. सोने से पहले मैंने जब इतना पूछो, did I give my 100% to that process?
Hmm.
If yes, don't worry about the results. It will come
Hmm.
because you've given your 100% to it. The issue with most of the founders who are building or something, either they have experiences from the past, which gives them anxiety, or they keep thinking about the future, which gives them pressure.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're not living in the present moment. All I tell them is live the present moment, give your 100% in the present moment. Kal ho na ho, yaar. I mean, this nobody
Yeah.
knows what's going to happen tomorrow, and results are not in your hand. I'll give you a classic example, and this is somebody most of you guys will relate with about Virat Kohli.
Hmm.
Now, Virat Kohli was a person when he entered cricket. Okay, he thought that his skills is everything. I just need to
Yeah.
keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. I have put a lot of effort on the field and so on and so forth. And they
Yeah.
used to take pressure about the results also. But when Anushka Sharma, of course, came in his life, and then we all, he became a little spiritual, where he realized that in my control, basically, in what is in your control? In your control is your skills. In your control is what you're talking to your mind. In your control is
Hmm.
working on yourself.
Hmm.
Results is not in your control. Then why are you taking tension about those results?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just live the present moment. Have gratitude for, at least you have a business where you have hope to build something.
Yes.
Okay. There's so many people who don't even have a hope. You
Hmm.
have that hope. Okay. Build it lovingly, by giving gratitude to it every single day. It will give you results.
Yeah. Now, all this, when you are sitting in a room and listening to people's success stories, feels good, it feels nice. But we also hear stories of people who tried, failed, and then tried again and failed, and then tried again and failed, and then they tried again and failed. And there are people who just did something first time, and for whatever reason, that thing worked out, and they kept on growing. So, is there something like a magic touch? Is there, something like somebody sitting right there on top and he's probably helping your things happen? Or as you said, there is a process. How does that work? How do you explain to a person who's tried and failed again to keep on trying?
Okay. See, when I was doing my earlier distribution business, we were two partners. Okay. One was a Gujarati. Okay. And one was me. Now, Gujarati comes from as I said, he comes from a mindset of business and everything. So when we both started, he kept seeing success early on. And I was, like you said, I tried, failed, tried, failed, tried, failed. And he kept seeing that success, kept seeing that success, kept seeing that success. And I'm like, oh, wow, it's cool. How is that he's getting it so easily? And I
Yeah,
started to, doubt myself. But, then came a point where there came a standstill.
yeah.
Okay. Up, success भी मतलब उसको, so basically every next level of growth requires a next level of you.
Hmm.
Okay. Now he had to change. Okay. For him to take that change was getting difficult now because he's already seen success.
Ah,
Okay. So for him now, when it was like, I'm niche जा रहे, like, how do I, मतलब, for them, it gets like, everybody gets up and low. I would say कि it's good. You should be happy if you're getting lows per early. because you are
Yeah.
gaining that experience. Okay.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
when it comes up, then "ये मेरे साथ ऐसे हुआ था, मैंने ऐसे किया था,
Yeah.
मुझे पता है." Okay. So the people who see success early on, because it's also because they have some experience. या तो घर में बात हुई है,
Hmm.
ऐसे नहीं करना है, या वो नहीं, या उन्होंने कुछ ट्राई किया है, छोटा मोटा भी ट्राई किया है, जिसकी वजह से उनको अर्ली ऑन सक्सेस, वो रिफ्लेक्शन लेके वो बिजनेस चालू कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is the reason they see that success. Okay. But like I said, जब उनका भी जो growth का next level आता है, then they also see downfall. Now, how many
Yes.
people can still stay in the business after seeing success in the
Yeah.
downfall is a big question.
Yes.
So it's a process. Everybody will go to ups and downs in business.
Seeing
वो तो है
success
ही.
in downfall, that is really, really difficult. It's not
Yeah.
easy to convince yourself. You spend money, you send whatever you are working on, माल पहुंच गया, लेकिन पेमेंट कहीं से नहीं आ रही है, और जिससे माल लिया है वो आके खड़ा हो गया है, and all that. Those are really difficult times,
Yes.
and many of us, all of us understand we have to go through all this to reach that
Yeah.
phase in
And in
life.
a classic example, na, a founder who comes from a corporate job, okay, who was at a very good post,
Yes.
finds it very difficult to build business because now he has
Yes.
to go start from zero.
Yes.
ओके. अब उसको डर लग रहा है कि यार मेरा तो इतना था, मेरा तो विजिटिंग कार्ड ही ऐसे करता. अब जो नाउ अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स आई सीन दैट फाउंडर यूज्ड टू हैव दैट भारी विजिटिंग कार्ड. वो लोग उनको
Ah.
ऐसे बुलाते थे, आओ आओ हमारे ऑफिस में. नाउ व्हेन ही स्टार्टेड हिज ओन बिजनेस, देयर इज नो
Yeah.
विजिटिंग कार्ड अटैच्ड टू इट. इट्स
Yes.
ओनली हिज नेम और हर नेम.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now they have to start from zero. They find it very difficult. Like I had
Hmm.
something, people used to call me in my office. Now where is it gone? So it's
Imagine
not
waiting
easy.
outside somebody's office for an
Yeah.
appointment. Yeah,
पहले
I
तो I
know.
used to get into this room aram saying what has gone wrong now. So like I said, after a huge success to go to zero is very difficult. I would say
Hmm.
it's better to get all those, failures, sustain it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then comes when success comes, then you know that हाँ मुझे पता है कैसे करना. It's like fun.
Wonderful,
But everybody
wonderful.
has their own journey. I mean, no two founders have the same journey because the
Exactly.
master plan is very different for them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you should never ever compare your journey with somebody else because we don't know what their background is.
Exactly. Exactly. Never
We
compare yourself with
we don't
anyone.
look we don't look like our journey.
Yeah, that is another thing. We don't look like our journey. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That is so profound.
Each one of us has gone through hell in our lives and
Yes.
पापड़ बेले हैं हमने, बहुत पापड़ बेले हैं, तब जाके यहाँ पे पहुंचे हैं. और वो जो पापड़ बेले वाली स्टेज है ना, the caterpillar to butterfly stage, that is
Yes.
not visible to anybody. That is only
Yes.
I know what I have gone through, the pain that I have gone through. So I don't show that
Hmm.
journey to anybody else, right? So that's
Yeah.
what the failure is hidden in that. And the pain
Yeah.
is hidden in that. And the struggle is what gives you success in your life. If you have not gone through pain, if you have not gone through struggle, so how will you understand what is a success? And today, one
Clearly,
more thing is
clearly.
that the meaning of success is different to different people. For my
That too. Yes.
for
Yeah.
Generation Z, it's a lifestyle. I talk to very much young people. For them, it's a lifestyle. I want to travel. I want to work from home. I want to meet my girlfriend. I want to maintain a car. I want to do this. And they do it. They get it. They become YouTubers. They go to
Yes.
college. They study. They
Yeah.
do multitasking and they get what they want. So I think
Yeah.
each person is different and each person's wants are different. And the success idea is also different. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Every generation redefines what success is, or what life is, or what money is, or what needs and
Yeah.
wants are. For the previous generation, everything else was different.
Yeah.
Payal is normally here, who goes through something called a rapid
Rapid
fire question and answers, but since she is not joining in, and she's just messaged me that she is away at a place where there is no network, I'll do that job. And here are a few rapid fire questions for you, Ashi.
Sure.
Many of them are, either one word or one line questions. So let's go through this. What's your morning routine? The first thing you do after waking up?
Meditation.
Wonderful. One book that changed your mindset forever.
Uh, it is called by Mahatriara. It's called Most and More. Okay.
Yeah.
And one is by Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit
Hmm.
of Being Yourself. Yeah.
Wonderful. Tea or coffee in the morning?
Nothing. No empty stomach tea coffee. Only
No
badams
empty
and
stomach.
raisins.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful. That's probably the glow showing on your face. Yeah.
Thank you.
पानी एक थाली
What's more important, discipline or motivation?
Discipline. Motivation dies. Okay,
Motivation
discipline helps
dies.
you. Discipline
Yeah,
takes you to the next level.
wonderful. The best advice you ever received.
The best advice I ever received: never let your ego shatter your dreams. Okay,
Never
it's
let
okay
your
to, yeah, it's okay to remain stupid than to be intelligent.
good one, good one. One success myth that you want to bust.
It takes hard work to make money. No,
It takes hard work to make money. Money doesn't grow on trees.
yeah, it is
What
all.
is
It's
money?
something. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Please finish, and then I'll ask the
And it is
next question.
something which we've been conditioned with. It's not true.
Yeah,
There are many
yeah,
people who just work for 3 hours a day and they make
yeah,
hell lot of money. So
yeah.
that's not true.
What is that number one trait you see in high achievers, in successful people?
That they take actions quickly.
They take
They don't
actions.
procrastinate. They thought about something, they'll just put it into action. They're not thinking
Mm.
anything. But a lot of others who are not successful, they're like, no, let me make a blueprint, let me do this, they want to be perfectionists. They don't.
Yeah,
Like, got an idea,
yeah.
let's just put it even before anybody else is thinking about putting it into the market.
Correct. Yeah. The most common mindset block you see in clients, most common,
Self-doubt.
self-doubt.
Self-doubt is the biggest thing. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Especially I'm not good enough. That's the biggest mindset block that they have.
So the next question is one quick hack to overcome self-doubt.
By keeping the promises you make to yourself every single day. In
Hmm.
small promises. कल मैं उठ के walk करने जाऊंगा. Make sure that you keep that promise and you go for a walk.
Yes.
That your confidence starts
Yes.
to build. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about building, keeping bigger promises. छोटे promises. As soon as I wake up, I will start building it. Your self doubt will go out.
Yeah. So a lot of people talk about journaling and creative visualization. If the choice was given, what would you choose?
Both. Actually, it
Both.
really depends. You know what? Some people are able to get into the process of rewiring the mind by journaling. Like for me, I am more of a visualization person. I would visualize, I
Hmm.
can daydream and everything. But for some people, they can't visualize. For them, it's not work. But when they write, they can write an entire scene and story and everything. So it all depends on what kind of a person you are. It's each
Yeah.
one for each one. For me, there
Yes.
is sometimes I want to write, sometimes I just want to visualize. So I'm like, I think I'm a mix of both.
Wonderful. Work-life balance, myth or reality?
Mix.
Myth.
So
Wow.
I always say this, when you start any business, because I work with founders, okay, there is no time, there's no money, there's no balance
Hmm.
when you start
Really?
something. So
Yeah.
when you start to do some skill set, थोड़े लोग आने लगते हैं, थोड़ा बिजनेस बढ़ने लगता है, तो थोड़ा पैसा आने लगता है, तो भी टाइम नहीं
Yes.
आया, okay,
Yeah.
पैसा आया. So again,
Yeah.
there is imbalance, okay. Then you start building teams, start building, creating processes and systems and so on and so forth. Then
Hmm.
comes time also. So there is nothing like work-life balance, I'll be very honest. There is only imbalance, okay? And you are
Yeah.
trying to create balance in that. It's a myth.
Yeah. If you weren't a coach, who would you be?
If I was a coach or if I wanted a
No,
coach.
if you weren't a coach, if you were not a coach, who would
Oh,
you
if
be?
I was not a coach, I think I would have been a travel blogger. I
Hmm.
love traveling. I would have been
Hmm.
that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
still have that travel page where I put about travel and foods, whatever new food I travel, eat and restaurants and everything. So I have that passion alive still.
Who inspires you the most?
Who inspires me the most? Actually, there are four people. I'll be very honest. One is Priyanka Chopra.
Okay.
Okay. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Virat Kohli, and Djokovic.
Hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they have different. All of them have different traits, and
yeah.
I pick up those traits from them, and they are my inspirations.
Yeah. Last question before we close. If you had 30 seconds to change somebody's life, what would you say to them?
Have gratitude.
Gratitude.
Be in the present moment. That's it.
5 seconds. You don't need 30 seconds. You
Yeah.
need only 5 seconds.
I'm telling you, gratitude is the highest level of emotion that you can have as per the
Yes.
emotional frequency. And if you can
Yes.
just live in gratitude, you will never think of lack. And if you're not thinking of lack, that means you are only creating abundance for yourself. So just start the practice of gratitude.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's exactly 1 hour since we started on a Sunday afternoon, 12:30. It is now 1:30. What a 1 hour it has been. It, for want of better word, it just flew by. We just kept on asking questions and you kept on answering. And we had, feedback from Dr. Alka and her personal experience, and Dr. Saurabh Patil also was also there. Abhijit tried to join in, but he's possibly got logged out. Let me take this opportunity to thank everyone who joined in today. Special thanks to Aashi, who
Thank
agreed
you.
to join in and do this session at the last moment. We actually had a dropout, and we had to reach out with our network. And Abhijit said, "I'm calling Aashi Chawla." I said, "Yes, I know her. Neha." So we are connected. So today finally is the day when we are on this show together. And a small reminder to everybody, our next Sunday program is a offline program where it's going to be a small round table with Mickey Mehta. With Mickey Mehta. It's going to be a small, very, very small function. Pile will reach out to everybody and then send you a link to register and all that. So please do not miss the 278th episode of Bloom next Sunday, which is going to be offline. Hope to see you there. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Deepak, even before I end, I want to say that if you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. But I also have a freebie to offer everybody. If you
Please,
have a group, I will
please.
send it across.
Yes,
This
yes.
freebie is talking about how your mindset is limiting your business and how much loss you're making in your business by not applying, while
Yeah.
not thinking on the or working on the internal being of yourself. So
Sure,
yeah, I
sure,
would share
sure.
the link with you. You can share it with
Please,
them.
please send it to me or Payal, and then we'll share it in our community.
Sure, sure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you,
much.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next Sunday.
Yeah, take care.
Take care. Bye.